fucking sad little man. You pled guilty to bashing your wife.
The brave man
you
here
were originally
talks
charged
about
with throwing a knife at her.
Who doesn't know
You were
anything about my
charged
personal life.
with throwing a
For
knife at
4
her.
years,
You fucking
I've
little
lived
wife
with
basher.
people like this,
You
scum of the
fucking
earth,
little wife
who
basher.
pretend to know
Look
about
how
my
fucking little
personal
he
life,
is, and
don't
he
know
bashed his
anything
wife.
about my life.
He bashed his wife.
Do you want to calm down?
No.
Sweetheart, calm
Listen,
down.
Oh, buddy.
Calm down.
Buddy.
You're calling
You
me
calling me a sweetheart? Oh, buddy. That's fucking
You act like
funny.
I'm aggressive. You're the aggressive one. You don't know anything about me. Do you know my ex-wife?
Mate.
Do you know this? Were you there? You just hit a woman.
Hang on, get him out. Get him out. Get him out.
Well, this one's a fun one, so make sure to watch it all the way to the end and then share it far and wide. Because last week when I was covering the street celebrations of Dan Andrews' resignation, my legendary security guard noticed an obsessed hater taking photos of the crowd. And when I say obsessed, I'm not kidding. This is the bloke whose pinned tweet for years now has been celebrating his stunt stalking me, where he would pull out a chopping board wherever he could find me, trying to ruin Rebel footage.
Do you remember the Black Lives Matter rally?
Never.
You came up to me when I had anti-fascist on my mask, and he said, mate, are you an anti-fascist? And I just pulled out my chopping board that said, Avi is a wife basher, and you ran around.
And he's right. I often had to move on and try to edit him out, not because he scared me, but because I couldn't legally defend myself in public. However, as many of you know, that's all changed, and if you're really interested in my personal story, including the truth about that particular lie, make sure to get a copy of my book now at rebelfromthestart.com. So, when Daniel, my security guard, identified my stalker, Christopher Johnson, who for some reason attended this event wearing a Fire Rescue Victoria ID, which I have reached out to them with a media request for comment to understand if he was there on official business, I'll update you with that response when I get it. For now, I decided to engage Christopher Johnson from Fire Rescue Victoria because I can finally answer his lies to his face, exposing the gutless coward to the world.
How you doing? Why are you here?
Oh, mate, it's democracy in action, right? You know, all these losers who didn't win a seat at the state election. Oh, that's right, you stood at the 2018 election. You lost too, didn't you? You fucking loser.
You stood for the sex party and lost.
Mate, yeah.
You can't make this stuff up. Just to put it into perspective, Christopher Johnson from Fire Rescue Victoria, who previously I've caught on camera, he's proudly displaying his connections to the extremist left-wing group Antifa, got a whopping total of, sit down, listen to this one, 3 votes when he ran for public office. I may have failed, but I got thousands. To be precise, I got 687 times more votes than him.
No, but you lost, you loser.
Mate.
You lost, you loser.
Mate, look.
What happened?
Mate.
Why are you such a loser?
Oh, mate, I didn't bash my wife. You did.
No, I didn't. But
You bashed...
if
No,
you-
you didn't
if
bash
it-
your wife.
if you had to read a book-
In court. You pled guilty in court.
Why
that
you-
you bashed your wife.
I never pled guilty to bashing my wife.
You pled
What did I
guilty.
plead guilty to?
You pled
no,
guilty
to what?
bashing your wife.
No, tell me
mate.
what I pled guilty to.
Mate, read the
Tell
news.
me.
Everybody can
You
read
read
the
the news. Tell me what I pled guilty to.
You pled guilty
Tell me
to
what.
bashing your wife.
What did I
You
plead
pled
guilty
guilty to
what?
bashing your wife.
What did I plead guilty
You
to?
pled guilty to bashing your wife, you fucking wife basher.
Brave boy
Fucking
here.
Little wife
What I
basher.
love about him,
Little wife basher.
he helped me promote my book.
Little
Rebelfromthestart.com. Read the whole
Little
story.
wife basher.
Okay, just to be clear, because Christopher Johnson from Fire Rescue Victoria isn't really interested in the truth, I have never in my life hit a woman, let alone my ex-wife. I did plead guilty to a crime I didn't commit, but even that wasn't bashing my wife. The whole story you can read in my book at rebelfromthestart.com. But in summary, about that specific incident, I never threw a chopping board at anyone. I did slam a chopping board on the table in frustration years ago during my first sadly toxic marriage in a heated moment. I certainly didn't throw it, let alone at her. I would have fought those charges no matter how long it took. But here's the clincher. If I'd contested those charges, I would have had to accept not seeing my kids while there was an open domestic violence matter afoot. That's our broken system. And still even now, due to Australian law, when it comes to these issues, I can't publish many of the specifics. But in short, I was left with 2 options of how to close the domestic violence case and essentially see my kids. Fight the charges for as long as the process would take to clear my name and then fight to see my kids, or plead guilty to throwing a chopping board during a heated argument that accidentally hit her and be allowed to see my kids almost immediately. I couldn't bear going a year, or likely much more, without having a relationship with my children, so I pleaded guilty to a summary assault, the lowest assault, and copped a small fine. I chose my children over my pride, and I would do it again if I had to, because they matter far more to me than anything else in this world.
Do you have children?
It's on.
Wait, do you have do you have children?
No, it doesn't matter if I have children or not.
It does matter.
How does it matter?
Because what would you do for your children?
How does?
Because you know, do you know why I pled guilty
how
for?
Does whether I have children or not change the fact that you're a wife basher?
Because you would never sacrifice anything in your life for anything that matters.
What did you fucking sacrifice? You fucking wife basher.
A guilty plea for my kids.
You pled guilty.
I pled guilty to a crime I didn't commit for my kids.
I know what you're thinking. Why am I jumping the gun questioning him about kids when, with a personality like that, he likely can't even get to first base? He doesn't have a partner. And you're right. After a quick search on Facebook, it turns out Christopher Johnson from Fire Rescue Victoria is very single.
You couldn't even get a woman, let alone a wife.
Oh, there we go.
Where are your kids?
Mate.
Where are your kids? You know what? I would do anything for my kids. Even plead guilty to a crime I didn't commit.
Oh, you didn't commit it. You fucking little coward.
He deserves
You are the biggest fucking little coward.
Tell me, how is it that when we ghosted the entire Victorian police to come and basically run a full-scale invasion against a fake protest that didn't exist, how is it that you happen to be there at the same time? How is it that you rocked up at the very same time?
What are you trying to say? I'm the police.
I'm trying to say, Avi.
So here you have Dumb and Dumber. Dumb here says that the police charged me because I'm guilty of being a thug. Dumber, his friend, says that I work for the police.
Complicated question. What I want to know, Avi, is how is it that when we trolled the cops to come and chase down innocent women and children?
What's your theory?
My theory, Avi, is that you are
He pled guilty in court. It's on the court record. You don't give a fuck about domestic violence.
Absolutely, I do.
You know what? You have no idea of my life.
It's on the court record.
His wife's still with him, so fuck
No,
off.
he divorced. He married somebody else, you idiot.
Here's the
He
thing I
married
want
somebody else last year.
Here's the
You're
thing.
ignorant.
Here's
Tell
the
her
thing
you
over
got
the
married
Victorian
again.
Do you want me to help you
You
with
got
your
married
story?
again. Tell her.
Oh, you mean another woman loves me?
Avi, Rebel News, will you correct the misinformation?
Yeah, I will.
Will
I
you
never
correct the
bash my
No.
wife.
Hey,
Yeah, no, I'm correcting
Are
him.
you still
Hey,
ex-wife?
show me.
Ex-wife. He said ex-wife.
Never bashed
totally
his
irrelevant.
wife.
No, he said ex-wife. Listen to him.
You've done a lot of good work.
Listen to him.
You're frotting his book. You give it
Did you just catch that? The bloke who has spent his last few years committed to trying to demonize me over fake violence against women didn't even think twice about turning violent against a woman who posed absolutely no physical threat to him.
Wait, what? Out of the two of us, you're the only one that hit a woman. Out of the two of us, you're the only scumbag. You little weak man. You little coward. So there you go. Out of the two of us, there is only evidence that one of us hit a woman, ever. One of us. So Victoria Police are now removing the abuser of women. If you enjoyed the self-destruction of Antifa, make sure to like, comment, and most importantly, share far and wide. Because the last thing these clowns want is for people to know the truth. And more importantly, read my book. Rebelfromthestart.com. Get a copy for yourself, get a copy for your friend. Read it, educate yourself. And don't listen to clowns that go for personal attacks instead of arguing the issue. Rebelfromthestart.com. Love you all.